This man's friends cut a hole in the roof of a stranger's house so their friend could gain a hearing with Jesus. I have some good friends in my life, but I'm not sure any of them would crank up their chainsaws and ruin someone's roof for me. There is a thread of empathy in this story. This man's friends put themselves on his mat and wondered, what if that were me? What if I were paralyzed? What if I couldn't walk? If I had to beg to survive? What would I want my friends to do for me? This is a Me Too story, and it's in the Bible because Jesus was God's visible version of Me Too. Every pain you've ever experienced or been through in your life, God can say, Me Too. Betrayal, misunderstanding, confusion, heartache, suffering, physical pain, fatigue, hunger, you name it, Jesus understands. Jesus can look at any situation in anyone's life and say, Me too. What I've learned from the 4 men who cut a hole in a roof for a friend is this: everybody needs somebody. That is at the heart of living a Me Too life and building a Me Too culture. As a rule of thumb, if you belong to no groups but decide to join one, you cut your risk of dying over the next year in half, wrote social researcher Robert Putnam. The single most common finding from a half-century's research on the correlates of life satisfaction, not only in the United States, but around the world, is that happiness is best predicted by the breadth and depth of one's social connections. I can't imagine anyone not being interested in cutting their risk of dying in half. I have a friend who loves to run. Over lunch, he told me about a man who finished the Boston Marathon in 2 hours and another man who finished in 17 hours. It would take me a week to finish that race. The second man has muscular dystrophy, but he completed every mile of the 26.2-mile race. Even though the winner of the race finished 15 hours before him, the man with muscular dystrophy never gave up. And at the end of the race, he paid tribute to the 2 people who walked beside him the entire way. 2 people who never left his side. 2 healthy people who have put themselves in his shoes and have come to realize that everyone needs someone. Who is that someone in your life? Who would walk with you through death's valley? Who would carry you across the finish line when your legs give out? Can I suggest someone to you? His name is Jesus. And the reason you need him as a friend is because Jesus is God. I have a lot of friends, but none of them can make that claim. And some people struggle with the idea of a man being God. For in Christ all the fullness of the deity lives in bodily form. Colossians 2:9, NIV. If Olympic gold medalist Usain Bolt entered a 3-legged race, running with one leg tied to a partner's leg, it wouldn't diminish his innate running ability or change his status as the world's fastest sprinter. But he would be voluntarily limiting the use of his abilities. Likewise, Jesus' status as fully God was not diminished in the Incarnation. The Incarnation was more an addition of human attributes than a loss of divine attributes, noted theologian Millard Erickson. Jesus was God's primary response to the pain we see in the world around us and the pain we experience in our own lives. He didn't send a bouquet of flowers and a greeting card. God sent his Son. He entered this world the way we entered this world, crying. And he left the world the way we'll leave the world, dying. But he didn't stay dead. And that's what separates him from any other friends you have. The kind of people you surround yourself with will determine the kind of person you become. Buzz had Woody. Laverne had Shirley. Bert had Ernie. Batman had Robin. And Bonnie had Clyde. John, you can't live the right life with the wrong friends, my parents used to tell me. Maybe you've heard that old adage, show me your friends and I will show you your future. Friends matter. Jesus had friends. He ate with prostitutes, which makes religious people squirm. It makes me smile. I can see Jesus leaning over and saying to the prostitute seated next to him, "Hey,